Maverick News presents The Rick Walker Show. Defrag your mind.
And the race to the bottom continues. And we're all in the race. Hello, everyone. It's Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. We're at war, and our leaders act like children. Joe Biden says Vladimir Putin is a crazy SOB. And Chrystia Freeland gets a phone call from a guy who's upset. Cops show up at his house. The video was just sent to me before I came on here. It's one of the reasons I started an hour late tonight. I had to do some soul searching before I came on this evening. A little reflection. Everything is just it's just getting worse. And what I mean by that is it's like people's heads are getting worse. Our attitude is getting worse. We need to do better. All of us. Me too. I'm trying. I'll show you what I mean tonight. All the name calling, the insults, the anger, and the stupidity. Some of these guys engaging in this behavior have fingers on buttons that can blow us to kingdom come. In fact, I think we all do. I'll be right back, and we'll start digging into today's top stories. Stay with me.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
I'm going to save the Chrystia Freeland thing for a few minutes from now. I'm going to start with the Biden thing first. So last night, he's at this fancy-dancy shindig fundraiser with a bunch of rich folks who are supporting him. And I guess in his speech, he says that Vladimir Putin is a crazy SOB. I can't find any video of this online. At some of these really high-end fundraisers, they sometimes don't let cameras in. I think that's what the case was here. If there is video, if anybody can find it, send it to me. I don't even have audio of this one. Sometimes there's audio, but I'm not seeing any video of the actual quote. Nevertheless, media became aware. They're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It all started last night in the Bay Area, San Francisco. This is ABC News 7 with some footage for us of the event as Biden arrived, first by helicopter, then with a motorcade. Here we go.
Hundreds of people here hoping to catch a glimpse of the president at the Marina Green. Now, he took off shortly afterward. Now, here's a closer look at the president's motorcade arriving at the Getty home. About half an hour ago, the president got there for a private fundraiser in Pacific Heights. Now, today we heard from a number of people about President Biden's visit.
Something definitely exciting happening.
At Marina Green, lots of barricades and security, and people eager for President Joe Biden's arrival.
Because I've never met a president before, so seeing one up close is kind of cool.
The president attends 2 fundraisers in San Francisco, including a reception at the Gordon Getty family home. U.S. Representative Nancy Pelosi, the former House Speaker, is expected to be there.
It's smart of him to come here where people are wanting to see him.
President Biden counting on Bay Area supporters to boost his campaign chest.
We are the ATM for the political world, and there's a lot of folks here with a lot of money who are interested in politics.
The March primary is just around the corner. President Biden reportedly has $130 million in the campaign chest, while the GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, has about $36 million, and mounting legal bills have been a drain on his campaign funds.
It's often the case in politics that the candidate with more money wins, but it's not always the case. And we've seen that on both sides of the aisle and in presidential campaigns. So it's an indication of some enthusiasm for the Biden campaign, but it's not necessarily a sign that Trump's in trouble.
And tonight, as the president attends a pair of fundraisers, there are protesters hoping that their voices will be heard. Here's a closer look. It's a live picture now of pro-Palestinian demonstrators gathering at the Alta Plaza Park in San Francisco. They're hoping to get Mr. Biden's attention. Protesters are calling for a ceasefire and an end to U.S. support of Israel in the Middle East conflict. We're live in San Francisco. Suzanne Fawn, ABC 7 News.
All right, Suzanne, thanks very much. And earlier today, President Biden had some strong words about Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling him an SOB. He spoke to a gathering of wealthy donors, saying we always have to be worried about a nuclear conflict because of crazy Putin. And Biden made a jab at Donald Trump for comparing himself and his legal woes to the prosecution of Alexei Navalny, who died in a Russian prison. Biden saying, quote, "You've got to prevent this other guy from being president."
It does make me chuckle. And what about Putin? How did he respond? Well, the Kremlin says that it debases the United States when the president speaks like that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Putin went on, he says he's ready to work with any president. He says, quote, but I believe that for us, Biden is a more preferable president for Russia, and judging by what he has just said, I am absolutely right. It's not like he can say to me, Vladimir, Volodya, thank you, well done, you've helped me a lot, Putin said. You asked me which is better for us, I said it then, that I still think I can repeat it. Biden. And we do have Vladimir Putin queued up and ready to roll for you here. Here's how he responded when asked by a reporter when asked for his reaction, this is what we got.
Что снова на морозе, можно еще один вопрос. Не знаю, успели вам сегодня доложить или нет, вы то летите, то едете. Президент Байден, президент США Байден, снова с хамским высказыванием в ваш адрес выступил. С хамским, да. Не хочется цитировать, но все-таки президент США скажу. Он сказал в ваш адрес «сумасшедший сукин сын». Вы никогда в адрес никакого лидера не то, что ничего подобного не говорили, но даже...
Maybe not. Okay, let me get the other one here. Hang on. Hang on. Let's get the English version with the English translation up, okay? And here's Vladimir Putin with an English translation.
You and we recently spoke, and you asked me who we prefer as the future president of the United States. I said that we will work with any president, but I believe that for us, for Russia, Biden is preferable. Judging by what he just said, I am absolutely right, because this is an adequate reaction to what was said on my part. Why? Because he can't tell me? Volodya, well done, thank you. You helped me a lot. We understand what is happening there from a domestic political point of view. And this reaction is absolutely adequate, which means I was right. What I said primarily for our audience, and not for the Americans. You are a Russian journalist, and you asked me what is best for us. I'll say it as I said it then, and I think it now, and I can repeat it. Biden.
He wants Biden, he says. But it could be like reverse psychology, where he really wants Trump. But he says Biden because then he knows that'll mess everything up and then he'll get Trump. But he might really mean that he wants Biden, but then he might be thinking that everybody's going to think that he's using reverse psychology, so then they think that he wants Trump, and then they really, I don't know what he wants. It's so confusing. Just by talking about it, it messes with your head. But at least he didn't throw a verbal barb back with a pejorative expletive deleted. But you know, he has at times come out with some insults. Here's Vladimir Putin calling Canada's House Speaker an idiot because of that incident with Yaroslav Hunka, the Ukrainian Nazi that appeared in Parliament. So he's not immune to insults. The fact that everyone applauded this Nazi in Parliament is absolutely disgusting. Especially the president of Ukraine, who has Jewish blood in his veins, who has Jewish roots, stands there and applauds a Nazi. Not just some belated follower of Nazi ideology, but to a person who killed Jewish people with his own hands.
Человеку, который своими руками уничтожал еврейское население. Это он лично уничтожал. Если спикер канадского
парламента
говорит о том,
says that Canadian, Ukrainian, or Ukrainian-Canadian Nazi fought against Russians in World War II.
Украинский или украино-канадский нацист сражался против русских во время Второй мировой войны. Он не может не понимать,
he cannot but understand that he fought on Hitler's side, not on the side of his motherland,
а не на стороне его собственной родины, Канады. Или был фашистским
collaborationist. In any case, he was fighting on the side of
сражался на стороне нацистских войск. Допустим, он этого не знает. Я ни в коем случае не хочу обидеть чувства канадского народа. Мы относимся к Канаде, несмотря ни на что, с
Despite
уважением.
everything, we
особенно к
treat
людям.
Canada with respect,
Но если
especially its
он не
people.
знает,
But if he does not
что
know
во
that
время
during World War
войны
II it was Hitler and
против
his
России
minions who fought against
сражался Гитлер и
Russians,
его приспешники, то он
then
идиот.
he is an idiot. Oh, that got the applause.
Он значит просто в школе не учился.
Anyway, that means he did not study in school because he's an idiot. But Biden, he's got to take the cake. This is not an isolated incident with El Presidente Biden. No. He's insulted a lot of people. He's good at it. He just kind of stumbles into it. It just comes naturally. This is Biden. Remember when he called American service members stupid bastards? It's like this is the president of the United States, and this is him giving a speech to them. And then I think he says at the end here, if I remember right, he says, "Applaud, you stupid bastards." Anyway, here we go. This is just a rewind. Here we go.
And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Clap for that, you stupid bastard. Man, you are a dull bunch. Must be slow here, man.
Clap for that, you stupid bastards. Then he expects people to vote for him. Jesus. Oh, man. And then there was the Peter Ducey incident, the reporter. He calls the reporter, I think it was a stupid son of a bitch. And this is if you have kids, they shouldn't watch tonight's show because of the language and some of the content that's coming up as well. So just a belated viewer discretion warning. Here we go. This is Biden insulting a reporter, a member of the White House press corps.
In place as a political liability ahead of the midterms?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Jesus. Yeah. And then there was that thing during the debate with Donald Trump. Remember where he says, would you just shut up? Would you just shut up? Here it is here. This is Biden's greatest hits tonight. For crying out loud. Didn't have much energy behind it, but it was there.
There has been talk about ending the filibuster or even packing the court, adding to the 9 justices there. You call this a distraction by the president, but in fact, it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question because the question is radical left. Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe? Who's on your list?
Gentlemen, I think
this is so unprecedented.
He's going to pack the court.
We have
I'm not going to give a list.
We have ended.
Yeah, he's so unpresidential. Yeah, you're the guy telling him to shut up. Yeah, Trump was badgering him because he knows that Biden is at times not always sharp. He was trying to push him, to get him to make a mistake, to get him a little discombobulated. Didn't quite work. I think they must have pumped him full of caffeine and vaccines. before the debate to get him all jacked up so he had enough energy. They probably let Biden sleep for a couple of days beforehand so he was rested, and he didn't quite go over the edge, but man, he was close there. Would you shut up? Now Reagan did the same thing a long time ago. I remember, you can find the video of that online. We tell some protesters, he says, shut up. It does happen from time to time. And then there's Pierre Elliott Trudeau's fuddle-duddle. That back in the day, of course, when using the F word was really, really frowned upon. But Biden, yeah, he has a little trouble keeping it together sometimes. I don't know if he really meant to say that Putin is a crazy SOB, or if it just came out. We don't have the video, so it could have just been one of those Biden moments where it just kind of comes out. But I don't think that's very presidential. I don't know. Now Trump, nobody ever said that his style is very presidential, and yet he is kind of presidential, but in a blue-collar, hardcore, foul-mouthed kind of way. He's used a few choice words over the course of his political career, too, and even before. But it is a race to the bottom, isn't it? It just feels like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel very classy. You got two guys who are now full of foul-mouthed words and insults and gold sneakers for $400 and non-fungible trading cards and throwing people in jail if they don't like their politics, and violence and temper tantrums and calling each other Nazis. It is nasty out there. It really, really is. It's nasty everywhere and getting worse by the day. Yeah. And I think it's making people angry, and I think they're doing things that go beyond what you're seeing, to even make you even angrier on purpose. I think they're doing it to us all. And some of it's making us angry because we see that it isn't very presidential at all. It's a joke. And that's why people are angry. It's a joke, that guy. He shuffles around. At least 20 to 30% of the time, he's just not fully lucid. He's just spaced out. People can see what's going on, and yet people still showed up. I've never seen a president before. Yeah, it's a human being. It's like I don't know. People are strange. I mean, I kind of get it. He's a celebrity. It's a moment. But he's not a unicorn. He's an old, doddering dude who has trouble remembering his own name when he's not peeing his pants. That's the truth. That's the truth. And that's the unfortunate truth for all of us. Especially when we're at war. So much money, so much treasure, so much blood. And it ain't over. So, yeah. I'm going to take a brief break. We'll come back. We'll have more on the other side.
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, what are we going to talk about next? Trudeau. Trudeau takes a jab at Conservative leader Pierre Poilevre over his new adult content, proposed adult content legislation, digital ID for gaining access to online adult content. I told you about this, I think it was last night, and this affects sites like Pornhub, which is actually a Canadian company, and they are saying that they might actually block access to their site for Canadians, and because they're not sure if the technology is going to mesh well for them or whatever. So that is the potential result is that sites like Pornhub might just block access for Canadians to adult content. And Trudeau talking about that here tonight. Where'd we go, Justin? Saying that, well, you'll hear what he says about Pierre Poilevre, the leader of the Conservative Party, in this clip. Here we go.
Thank you very much. This is what concludes today's press conference.
There was a question about online harms that people are asking about. And I think I was talking about this with my MPs earlier. The reality is, I think everyone agrees how incredibly important it is to keep kids safe. We keep kids safe in the schoolyard. We keep kids safe in our communities. We need to do a better job as a society keeping kids safe online. Keeping them safe from child sexual exploitation, from bullying, from the kinds of mental health distress that far too many of our young people are going through. And that's why we're moving forward with online harms legislation that will be introduced soon in the House and that will be robustly debated. Because I think it's something that all Canadians count on, that governments do what they need to keep all of our kids safe. Now, the fact that Pierre Poilevre and the Conservatives, without reading the legislation, without knowing what's in the legislation, are not just opposing it, but spreading lies about it, is concerning. What's also concerning is, instead of stepping up to stand for protecting our kids through responsible, serious legislation, he's proposing that adults should instead have to give their ID and their personal information to sketchy websites or create a digital ID for adults to be able to browse the web where they want to. That's something that we stand against and disagree with. We think we need to responsibly protect kids, but we need to do it in a way that is acceptable to all Canadians. So I think this is yet another example of Pierre Poilevre being irresponsible and not serious, and choosing to play politics instead of actually focusing on what matters, which is how to keep our kids safe. Merci tout le monde.
the end of that. So, there's that. And I guess we can dig into it now, this thing with Chrystia Freeland. Now, I have to say, I don't have full context on this. I've tried to get information from police on this. There isn't, but as far as I can tell, no charges were laid. There's no media release on it. I don't have anything coming back from police at this point. And this video was sent to me just a short time before going to air. Now, it was posted, and this is a video involving an incident that involves Chrystia Freeland, Canada's Deputy Prime Minister. And it was posted February 16th. That doesn't mean the incident was on February 16th. I don't know how old this is. It appears, I would say it was posted the incident must have taken place just before, and this is me speculating to some degree, just before the second anniversary Freedom Convoy event. I think. It could be older. It's still something worth showing to you tonight because it is beginning to get some traction online at this point. Not a lot, but just starting, even though it's been up for a little while. My guess is it was posted and nobody realized exactly what it was. Sent to me tonight, going to share it with you here. And what's happened is a man, an unidentified man at this point, phoned the office of the Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland. What was said? I don't know. Police were called by the Deputy Prime Minister. A complaint lodged. Police go to this home that is in this video and meet some guy. I think they say his name is John. That's all we know. Somebody named John, who they talked to about this phone call. And, well, you guys listen to what he has to say. And we'll take it from there. Let me cue it up. Here we go. Okay, so let me see if I can get it to go full screen here for you, because this is, I think it doesn't really want to go full screen. I've got another version of it over here. Okay, let me go to this other platform and share it with you from over there, because I want you to be able to see it full screen if you can. No. Should be able to give it to you full screen. Doesn't want me to. Doing my best for you. Like, I do have it in a smaller screen, but okay. I guess it doesn't matter that much. So let's give it to you here. The audio is the most important thing, and I'm seeing that people are complaining a little bit about low audio levels, so I'll try to address that in the nights ahead. There's not really much more I can do, folks, to get you better audio from this, but here we go. Here we go. That's as big as I can make it on the screen, I guess. Because it's security camera footage, it's an odd aspect ratio. Here we go. Get a listen.
What? What?
It's a cop calling from.
About what?
What's going on?
Well, apparently I got to talk to the cops about something.
What? You haven't been home.
I've been at work all fucking day.
Yeah, and you just saw your probation officer. What's the big deal? This is why I was asking, what the hell is all this shit about? Yeah, well, we don't trust you. We heard about talking, and then you guys got guns. I don't care what color you guys are, no racism, but you guys have guns. And you guys are the cops.
Hey,
yeah, we have issues.
About what? About what? You John? What does it matter if I am?
Here, you know what? I got the same thing now in a larger format. So let me bring it up over here, so you can see it bigger, and I think with a little bit better audio as well. Sorry for the misfire. Here we go. I think you can hear the police in the background a little bit clearer. This guy put the number for Freeland on his video. He edited the thing. I don't encourage you to call over this. Do not call her. The information is public, but don't do it. That's my advice.
Talk to me about what? Cops about something.
What? You haven't been home.
I've been at work.
What? You haven't been home.
I've been at work all fucking day.
Yeah, and you just saw your probation officer. What's the big deal? This is why I was asking, what the hell is all this shit about? Yeah, well, we don't trust you. We heard about talking, and then you guys got guns. I don't care what color you guys are, no racism, but you guys have guns, and you guys are the cops.
Hey,
yeah, we have issues.
About what? About what? You John? What does it matter if I am? For what? What did I do that's so... I've been at work all fucking day.
Hey, that's fine. Because of your daughter here, I just want to... It's private. But if you don't mind, I can go ahead and speak while she's there.
Come on, honey.
Give a shit, really, honestly.
Yeah, everybody upset, okay? Did you call the deputy... Did you call the deputy prime minister's office?
Who?
Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia. Did you call her?
Why would I call her?
Are you John?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a voicemail.
Okay.
From her phone that has a message from you. Okay, talking about how you're angry because of all the prices being raised. And that was yesterday. Through the state community.
Okay, so what, am I being arrested?
No. No, I'm not being arrested.
So why am I even bothering talking to you fucking morons then?
Okay, well, we just wanted to come to talk to you.
Talk to me about what? I'm allowed to call people's fucking numbers and leave messages, and that's not illegal.
John, the show is illegal.
So then why the fuck are you here then?
Okay, well, it's a threatening manner, so that's why we're
It's a threatening manner. Really?
Yes, that's why we're here, okay?
Really? And what did I threaten?
I don't think this conversation's going too far, okay?
Good, because I'd like you guys to get the fuck off my property.
No problem. I think we have a good understanding.
Good understanding of what? How I don't like the government? The government's a fucking joke, and I'd like you guys to go arrest Chrystia Freeland if that's the case. Because you know what? She's a fucking criminal.
Okay. Careful what you say, though.
Careful what I say. These people are going to get fucking hanged. You realize that the Freedom Convoy that's going there this weekend to Ottawa is hanging the government of Canada, right? The whole House of Commons is getting hung. You realize that, right?
Are you going to be there?
Do I look like I'm going to go all the way to Ottawa?
I don't think so.
The Canadian people want them hung. You don't agree with us? You don't agree that our government should be hung? You don't agree with us? You don't agree that our government should be hung for treason? They're supporting the World Economic Forum more than they're supporting the Canadian people. Okay, so then we should hang them then because that's treason. So what I said on her message isn't illegal because you know what? She's being a fucking treasonous cunt.
She's one of the worst and most
So
hated
you
women.
guys are here because of this message I left on Chrystia Freeland's message machine yesterday.
An opinion is freedom of
So
speech.
I'm allowed to have a
actually.
fucking opinion, and you guys can suck my ass if you don't like it.
No, we're talking about that.
Well, it's kind of hard when I've got 3 dogs at the door.
Okay. No, we just came to talk to you about it. Listen, that's fine. Like, what you said wasn't threatening, okay?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not threatening. An opinion is
It's your
not.
opinion, okay? But
I got a question. Why does she want to waste your time, and why would you guys even come wasting? Because
we're
she's
the
a
police.
pussy.
If they have concerns, we have to come and attend to it.
It's not a concern. It's a freedom of speech issue that she doesn't understand the freaking, or even consider the
Do
freaking.
you know what you said?
Yeah, she should be hung for treason.
Yeah.
That's an actual statement of a law, of a global law.
Just like if you're treasonous in this country and you're the government,
They should be
we're
charged with
as
murder.
the
They've
citizens
killed
of
50,000 Canadian
we
people.
are allowed to hang a corrupt government.
Right?
Legally, we can
It's
do it.
all within the
And
law,
if
so I don't
anything
understand why you guys
which
are
is gonna
here.
happen this weekend, and the government gets hung, it's not my fucking problem. It's
My
theirs.
question,
Their
yeah, I got a
fucking
question.
problem. And
Why
that's
aren't
probably
you guys
going to happen this
arresting these
weekend, so
people
be
then?
prepared. Our
Because
government
they're
is getting hung
government?
this
Who
weekend.
cares?
Publicly.
Who cares?
Publicly.
You're supposed to be here for
And
the
Civil
people.
War will
We
start
pay
as
you.
of fucking
We
tomorrow.
pay you, not them. We pay you. Our tax dollars pay you guys to represent us, not the government. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll pass on the message, and we're gonna do our best to.
That's not one message. Tell
Yeah,
her
tell them to do their homework. They're not in the
Tell her
fucking
she's getting hung
laws
for
and
treason.
human rights.
Okay, we'll pass that on.
And the
Good.
streets
Tell her to fuck right off while you're at it.
attitudes. It's disgusting.
And then you guys can fuck right off while you're
It's
at
like, man, my freaking bank account got shit over with this crap. To find out it's illegal. It's illegal.
These guys are fucking supporting it and fucking coming here.
Sorry, don't like them.
Well, you should be at her fucking office, fucking charge at her with fucking treason.
Right?
Good. Go fucking charge that cunt with treason, because she's a fucking treasonous goof. Grab fucking Trudeau while you're there, because he's a fucking treasonous goof too. Grab fucking Doug Ford, grab the whole House of Commons. They're all fucking treasonous. They're all getting hung tomorrow anyway. It don't fucking matter, goof. Don't bother coming to my fucking door with this fucking horse shit ever again, goof. You guys can fuck right off, eh? Fucking bunch of ignorant pigs. Fuck off.
That was like...
Hang on. There's more. A little bit more.
Yeah, the government's corrupt. They're getting hung tomorrow. They're getting hung tomorrow. Don't worry. Get the fuck off my fucking street, you bunch of fucking goofs. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking pigs.
Just looking in the chat. Looking in the chat. I don't know where this was. What are people saying about this tonight? What are people saying about this tonight? Are you feeling angry, folks? Think that guy's, is that guy a smart guy? Did the Freedom Convoy hang all the politicians when they got to Ottawa for the second anniversary event? Did they follow through? Did they? Where have I heard that plan before? Think that's a good thing? Not a good way to act? You know, it reminds me of Moose, Mr. McMoose, out west. Man, it's got to be almost a year ago now, right? Or over a year, maybe. When he confronted Chrystia Freeland as she was getting on an elevator she was visiting out west. You remember? And he shouted and screamed at her. And at that time, I said, you know, it's not my style. I would never do it. But he didn't touch her. And he didn't actually threaten her. He was shouting and was aggressive with his moves and his volume, like angry shouting, and got real close to her. But I said, you know, at the time, given what the government had been doing to people, I could understand the anger. And because he hadn't touched her and didn't actually threaten her, I said that I didn't think that it rose to the level of him being charged with anything, and so I defended his actions in that way. Not that I think what he did was right. And I don't think that the way that guy was acting is right. I understand the anger, but I don't think that's right. And I'm seeing way too much of it. I'm seeing a lot of anger, and I see a lot of cheerleading going on. And what I'm saying won't make me popular, and that's okay. That's okay. But what he did was not smart, doesn't get him any closer to anything, and he's an idiot, to use a word that Vladimir Putin just made use of. He's not a smart person, that guy. He's easily duped. He's kind of stupid, actually. And he's a very angry man, and I pity him. He's living with a lot of anger pent up inside. And you know, I'm going to show you something, and you're not going to like it. I got more of this kind of stuff. You're not going to like it, but I'm going to show it to you because you need to see it. And I'm going to ask you a question. If one side's lying to you, and you lose trust in that side, is the other side telling you the truth? I'm going to show you, you know, you don't believe, right, mainstream media because you don't believe politicians, you don't believe cops. I get it. I get it. Somebody tells you one lie, you can't believe anything they say anymore. That's why I try to be so careful about everything I do, especially these days because there's so much crazy stuff out there. It's hard to know what to believe anymore. Because you tell one lie, you get caught. Trust is undermined. You can't trust mainstream media. They talk about the World Economic Forum. They talk about healthcare. They talk about the lockdowns. They talk about all this stuff, and you know they undermine public trust. And then police undermined public trust because Justin wouldn't come out to talk to the convoy because the cops did beat people in the streets. Can't trust them. Can't trust them, right? Can't trust them. So then, you know, it's like, who's telling you the truth? Well, then you've got people on the other side telling you the other story, right? So, well, like take the World Economic Forum as an example, okay? Here's the other side, posted by a very prominent freedom movement person. Let me see if I can get this up full screen here for you. And I guess revealing, you know what they say, like they tell you what their plan is, and they're telling you exactly what they want to do to you, right? And this is why people, I guess, want to hang Justin Trudeau and all the members of Parliament, because they're all a bunch of genocidal, vaccine-pushing Nazis, I guess, right? So here, I'll run the clip, and you can hear it right from this guy's own lips. This is the CEO of Pfizer at the World Economic Forum, telling it in his own words.
And we also make the commitment that every year, as we discover and bring to the US or to Europe or to the world new medicines, automatically those new medicines will be inserted into the offer of the portfolio that we will offer into these countries. I think that it's really a fulfillment of a dream that we had together with my leadership team when we started in 19. The first week we met in January of 19 in California, and to set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them was by 2023, we will reduce the number of people in the world by 50%. I think today, this dream is becoming reality.
So it's a company and...
So, what do you guys think of that? Just check the chat. So that was shared out by a very, very prominent freedom movement leader. And I thought I'd share that with you tonight, so you can understand why that guy's so angry and why so many people want to take the actions that he calls for. Except, see, there's a problem. There's a problem. That's not exactly what the guy said. See, that's not really quite what the guy said. Oh, gets people real upset. But this is the unedited video. You can compare the two.
In the news last year, and also, Dr. Willer, you made today a very groundbreaking announcement. We will certainly come back, but I have the pleasure to introduce Dr. Albert Bourla, who is since 2019, just before the COVID crisis broke out. You were nominated chairman and CEO of Pfizer. And what formidable journey in the last 30 months. And you certainly have made a major contribution that many of us became resistant against the virus. So thank you on behalf of everybody. And I think what is remarkable is the fact that you went into this direction or venture without asking for public help, as far as I know, because you could have probably had access to billions of dollars, but you did it yourself. You did it alone, together with your partner, also BioNTech. Now, I just said that you made a major announcement, a groundbreaking announcement this morning. Can you tell us a little bit more?
First of all, thank you for the honor, Chairman, to be here with you. Today we announced that we will offer all our patent-protected medicines, all vaccines or medicines that currently exist in the US or in Europe, to the 45 poorest countries of the world. It is a population of 1.2 billion people at cost. And we also make the commitment that every year, as we discover and bring to the US or to Europe or to the world new medicines, automatically those new medicines will be inserted into the offer of the portfolio that we will offer into these countries. I think that it's really a fulfillment of a dream that we had together with my leadership team when we started in 19. The first week we met in January of 19 in California, and to set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them was by 2023, we will reduce the number of people in the world that cannot afford our medicines by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming reality.
So it's really a purpose-driven company, and if you say at cost without margin, or certainly you must add a certain margin for research and development?
We will not. We define at cost strictly what it takes to manufacture it and very minimal shipment. We exclude all the research money that took to invent the medicines, or the legal that took to make the contracts, or everything, all the administrative cost, everything that it is sometimes is added to the non-profit will not be added in that case. It's going to be strictly the cost to make and ship.
If I think of all the discussions during the last year related to COVID medicine, I think this is such a breakthrough. And if we see how many people in the developing world, and here I immediately come in with the question, when we talk about the developing world, whom do you help? I mean, are all countries included? Or?
Yeah. We use the principle. So we are including all the low-income countries, according to the World Bank definition. There are 27. But because there is always a gray line between the income of countries that they are not anymore because they improved a little bit, but still they cannot afford, we decided that every country that used to be low income, but they graduated to higher level, the last 10 years will also be included. That gives us 45 countries, which are 1.2 billion of population.
1.2 billion people.
Yes.
And would you help those countries also afterwards to develop their own production line?
What we are going to do, and this is a very good point, that what we discovered through the pandemic.
Anyway, enough of that. It goes on. It's not what he said. So why would somebody edit the video like that? I'm just asking. I'm asking. Anybody ever find any relatives of any of those missing children from Lahaina? Anybody? Even one? Can anybody help me out with that? Why would somebody edit the video the way that they just edited it? Somebody's lying to you. They're lying to you. You might like it. Do you like that? How does it make you feel? Did it make you angry? Why would they do that? Do you even care who it was? I don't like liars. I don't like people being manipulated. I don't like people being abused psychologically. I don't like people who want power, taking advantage of people to get what they want. That makes me angry. And I pity the man who is yelling at those cops, because he's out of his mind. You guys want to go down to Parliament Hill and hang all the politicians? The point is, Richard, you got to open both of your eyes. Just because one side's lying to you doesn't mean the other side is telling you the truth. And maybe the other side that's lying to you is even worse than that side. I'm no fan of Justin Trudeau. I'm no fan of the government. I'm no fan of giving up some or maybe even all of our sovereignty to the World Economic Forum or the World Health Organization. I'm not in favor of that. But there's context, there's accuracy, and there's keeping your head screwed on straight. You're not going to get to an actual solution if somebody's lying to you and getting you to into a fit of frenzy to the point where you then go down and do something really stupid and maybe get yourself arrested, or maybe get some people hurt or worse, put your family in jeopardy, and this stuff keeps going on over and over and over again, and over and over and over and over. It's stupid. I don't like it when people lie. No, I don't see your comments, Chili Bean. I'm only here on the one side here. Yeah, I know, Mouth. So? So what? You're in there getting everybody jacked up, as usual. No, Richard, I'm not talking extreme case. I'm not. This is happening over and over again. And over and over again. And, you know, this isn't making me popular. I get it. I could sit here and milk this. Like a lot of them do. But I'm just telling you the truth. And you know what? A lot of people can't handle the truth, and a lot of people don't want the truth. There it is. You're being lied to. Some people want you angry. Again. Do I? No, I don't. I don't spread hate. I don't know what I want to do here tonight. Hey, Leo, I know you're missing the point, and you're making it worse. On purpose. And you know it. Don't play games with me. I'm tired of the games. Who's going to call in tonight and try and get me jacked up? Let's open the phones. Let's give her a shot. All right, new phone system. Let's give it a try. I'm getting it cranked up here. See if we can make it work tonight. I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. A little bit complicated, but we'll get it cranked up here. I think. Here we go. All right. I'm going to get this number up on the screen for you in just a moment. It's just some different numbers to push here. There we go. Oh. Excellent. I think we're going to make it work, folks. All right. I do believe we're ready to rock and roll with the phones. So I'm going to run the new number here. Love you guys. You know, I'm going to try and keep it together. Go ahead, take your best shot. Okay, Mavericks, it's call-in time. Join the conversation. Call now at 1-319-527-6770. That's 1-319-527-6770. Exercise your right to free speech. Call 1-319-527-6770. Call now at 1-902-200-4222. Maverick News. Call now. The world is watching and listening to you. All right, I think we're ready to go here with our first caller, but let me get the number up on the screen again. 319-527-6770. That's 1-319-527-6770. First caller. Let's see who we have on the line. Go ahead. Let's see if this phone system works.
Hey, Rick. It's Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, Rick. It's Michelle, and I'm all sorts in the chat. Okay, so I've put in the chat a couple of times tonight about Chrystia Freeland's $6,000 a month grooming budget. Now, I have to admit, I saw this on YouTube yesterday. I don't remember the channel on which I viewed it, but this is ridiculous. Okay, what the taxpayer is paying for. How many blow dries does $6,000 get you a month? Okay? Now, last Saturday, I had my hair done. Hadn't had it done in a long time. It cost me $195. That was the base price, okay? That included color, highlights, cut, wash, and blow dry. Okay? Clearly, she's not getting a cut every day. Okay? I'm just,
Oh, I get it.
The amount of money the taxpayer is paying for this person to do her effing hair so she can have her bouncy blow dry. $6,000 a month.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't cost that much money.
Nope.
$6,000 a month to get your hair done. What does she have? A live-in hairstylist? Like, you know, what pisses me off, Rick, is, okay, I live in a riding. I live in Bill Blair's riding, which is Scarborough Southwest. Now, I did not have an issue with Bill Blair as Toronto's chief of police. But you know what? He's just like another sheep, bobblehead, you know, yes man to Justin Trudeau.
Yep.
So what is it with these people that elect these idiots? Like, I just think most people that confine their views of media to mainstream media, they don't know what the hell's going on.
True enough. I said going into the last election, don't underestimate the power of free. Even though, you know, we were dealing with lockdowns and all that crap in the last election, you know, the Liberals offered people free stuff. That's how they do it. With socialism, you know, give you free this, free that, you get you know, free tuition, free healthcare, free, you know, free universal basic income, free everything, and a lot of people are quite happy to give up their freedom for it, and so that's what you get. And then as long as the people are getting their free stuff, they just turn a blind eye to the corruption and the waste and all the terrible things that they're doing. A lot of people just don't care. And they they kind of view people like Justin Trudeau as royalty. He's not, but they think of him that way. And so when he feeds at the public trough and lives a lavish lifestyle, people seem to think that that's okay, that he's justified to live like that. And while you do want your politicians to be properly paid and compensated for the work that they do, because they do have to, you know, meet with world leaders and they do have expenses that are legitimate, it's excessive. And these Liberals are the worst.
You know what? You're right. You're right. And you know what? I want Chrystia Freeland to have her hair done if she's meeting with a world leader. Okay?
Yep.
I don't give a toss. Right? I agree with you. There are expenses that are completely legitimate, whether I agree with her politics or not. Right? But
you're right.
It's just this kind of like blind.
Because she's obviously not really, the money's not really being used for her hair, right? It's other stuff. It's corruption. It's not being used for the hair. It could be.
You know, grooming. I think, you know what? She's taking the friggin' taxpayer to the cleaners.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, is she having pedicures? Is grooming a pedicure?
Yeah.
Is grooming a manicure? You know, is grooming a massage? You know, I would like a deeper delve into some of these expenses.
I think they should have all their expenses, all their financials should be wide open for these public officials. That's, you know, a piece of legislation or a change in rules, ethics rules, that I think that the country needs. Is if you're a politician, the public should be allowed to see where every penny comes in and where every penny goes out, so that you know exactly where their money is coming from. No exceptions. Everything.
Yeah.
While they're in office. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway. You know, Rick, thank you for the platform. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And You can move on to the next caller, but again, I thank you.
I got to ask you though,
You have
like,
a good night.
did you pick up on what I was saying
Yeah.
though about the other side, right? Like that's the other
yeah.
problem. Because now that you've got other people who clearly want political power and they're getting people upset to go out and do crazy things. And that's, in my mind, just as bad,
Yeah.
maybe even worse. They've got people who want, like,
Yeah.
they're driving people crazy.
Yeah, you know,
like,
quite
I
like,
don't,
you know,
I
very
want
unhinged.
Chrystia Freeland held accountable, but I don't want her dead.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, exactly. There's a legal way, there's a decent way to do things. And this unhinged, manner is not going to win you points.
No, it's not. And it's not,
So,
it's not going to
yeah,
win.
people are angry,
You're
but-
guaranteed going to lose when you start doing stuff like that.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, there is a decent way to conduct yourself. And
It
totally-
frustrates me because when I sit here and tell people things like this, I get attacked because they say, you're not a true freedom fighter then. Why? Because I don't want to hang everybody in the public square?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm trying
honestly.
to help you.
You know, there's nothing to be gained by stupidity.
No.
You know, and false threats,
Right.
right?
That guy's lucky he didn't get charged. He's lucky he didn't get hauled off to jail. He's already got a record. You heard him talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not good for him.
I mean, well, look what he's saying. He could legitimately get arrested.
Yes.
By what he's saying. You know, and he's putting, everyone else, all those people who went to Ottawa last weekend, he's putting people like that in peril, like inciting, inciting stupidity.
And then it undermines everybody who says, well, the Freedom Convoy is completely peaceful, right? Everybody's loving everybody and hugging everybody. And then you've got this group of people over here saying stuff like that, which just gives the government everything that they need to say that it isn't. Because the guy's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't do the freedom movement any favors.
Nope.
But you know what? You will always have people like that, Rick. There will always be an example.
But the problem is that he's not that's not isolated. And I'm not using the name, but that video is just one of many, 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 many examples that I could bring up to show how they're doing it, and they're getting people angry. It was a very prominent person who put that up, who put that edited video up to get people angry, to act out just like that, and it's unacceptable. The truth is bad enough. We don't need to lie.
Exactly.
Putting people at risk. Thank you so
I
much
think
for calling.
People are angry about. Yeah, absolutely, Rick. Thank you for the platform once again. Okay, and you can move on to your next caller. But I do agree with you.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good night. Okay.
You too.
Okay.
You too. All right, let's go to our next caller. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
90 seconds.
Oh, Sir Richard, I'm so glad I got on. Your last caller was very interesting about all the money being wasted. I mean, I've been watching videos in the U.S. and they're paying $6,000 for a toilet seat in some places, like in aeroplanes, and the government is paying that. Where is this money going?
60 seconds.
Yeah, I'm still here, and I'm getting like some sort of a countdown here in the new system. This may kick out, Pam, so I don't know what's going on with this system. I hope that it continues to work, but Anyway, you keep talking. If a call drops, it's because the system. Yeah, only 37 seconds left. It says. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll call back.
Yeah, I might have to go to.
everyone-
I might have to go back to the old system. I upgraded this thing, and it's supposed to be working properly, but I think it's going to kick me out. So I might have to rejig things here in a minute. 20 seconds.
Well,
Go ahead. Wrap
I'm
it up.
fine. Oh, 1 second, I count.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I'm still here.
Yeah, it's 7 seconds left, and then they're going to cut us off.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
And
7,
we are
8,
off the air, I
9,
think, with Pam. There you go.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, can anybody still hear Pam? Are you still there, Pam?
I can hear you.
Yeah, can you guys still hear Pam in the chat? I don't have the chat open. You can
I
still
can
hear
hear
Pam?
you
Can you still hear Pam? And just one more
Hello,
time.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you can still hear Pam. Okay, we'll keep going. I think I know what it is. I think it's still filtering you through, but I think I understand why it did what it did. Keep on talking, Pam.
Oh, so I get. Oh, good. So I get to talk without you talking.
Yeah,
I have
go
the
ahead.
floor. Anyways, I can hear you now. Okay, so I just wanted to say I agreed with that caller. I've been looking at videos with how the U.S. government is paying $6,000 per toilet seat on aeroplanes, you know, on some of these luxury planes and whatnot. Military expenditures way above what they should normally be. But that's one point. But my other point was this, that video show you showed about that fellow and his other half getting police on their doorstep, and he was in probation as so it was so-called claimed. I don't know if that was a true or real event, or if it was just a staged event, because the police didn't arrest him, and if he's on probation and threatening a
No, Pam,
prime minister,
Pam. That was real.
What?
That was real.
Well,
not-
anyways,
not-
here's
it's not
my
staged.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay, here is my curiosity. Then he threatened to hang people, and
Well, he
and
didn't.
not
He
everyone
did not
common-
threaten. He said he told the police what was supposed to happen because he'd been, people talk like that, and then he's been hearing it, and so he's telling cops. But he didn't personally say he was going to do it, and he said that he wasn't going to go, so that's why they didn't arrest him or lay any charges.
I get it now. Oh, thank you for clarifying that, because I was watching it and I just thought something seemed a bit odd because no arrests were made, and if he had made a threat. But then on the other hand, they showed up at his door. So that in itself is rather threatening, don't you think?
No, I think that's what happens when you phone the deputy prime minister and say something that sets her off and makes her feel unsafe, and she calls the cops. And then they trace your number and show up on your doorstep. And I've seen it happen before. And I've shown it. I've shown it here, like about a year and a half ago. Another incident just like it, involving another. In that case, it was a very prominent member of the freedom movement who had been online saying really, really violent kinds of things. And that brought police to his front door, where had been talking about the prime minister, and that got some people worried. So they showed up. But because it's Canada, they didn't arrest him. There's, still, honestly, as much as we're suffering through a lot of censorship, there's still a lot of tolerance and latitude given to people who say sometimes stupid things online. But there is a woman who's going through court right now because she said stupid stuff, and I showed people that as well. You know, she actually did issue threats against the prime minister in a an online Zoom call that was then leaked out, or it was being broadcast on YouTube or whatever. So the cops in her case did go to her house and they did arrest her and they did charge her, and now she's in, you know, a bit of trouble. I haven't followed that for a while, so I don't know what stage that's in. That's the other thing. You know, people just need to be careful what they say. And even if you're joking around, you shouldn't be saying it, because that's going to get you and maybe other people into trouble. So, you know, when people are in the chat here even saying stupid things, and I've seen some stupid things just here on the YouTube chat tonight, a couple, then that's not good, because that puts everybody here at some level of risk, especially the person who says it. Don't do that. I keep telling people, don't say violent things. Don't say stupid things. I won't tolerate it here. That's not what we're about. I'm not what I'm about. You want to go talk about getting violent and doing stupid shit? You know, go to somebody else's live stream and do it over there.
Yes. I think we should be coming up with plans to learn from the past and how they got over corrupt governments and how they dealt with things. And although the corruption continued to some degree, and then over the years it magnified, and then another good government comes in, and then a corrupt one comes in, and blah, 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 and it goes on and on and on and repeats itself. So I think we're at the stage now where I think we need to start coming up with plans of purpose, plans of meaning, not just lashing out at people, you know, because that doesn't get anyone anywhere. I mean, and when we're joking, and I'm probably guilty of that too, you know, especially when it comes to Brandon in the States. But I think that, you know, I mean, a little bit of joking alleviates the stress to the point, but it couldn't be taken to the max, and then we do get carried away. People can get confident of what their response is when they choke, and then they can just get too carried away, and then it reaches a limit where it puts them in jeopardy and also others in jeopardy. And I can see what you're saying, Sir Richard. Well said.
Yeah. So, yeah, what I'm going to do here, Pam, is I've got another caller on the line, I think, and then I don't know. I might need to rejig this system to take more calls in, because I don't think that this thing registered the upgraded account, but that's a long story. Anyway, point is, I'm just trying to make everything work here tonight.
I just wanted to let you know my volume used to be a lot lower, and I mean higher, and I turned off my computer and reset everything and went into the sound and all the devices, and when you're speaking, the volume is low, but when the intermission comes on, it's back to normal. And if you turn the volume up, whatever you figure it out, we can always adjust our devices, because by talking in the chat tonight, everyone has a different device, so the volume operations are a little different. And I also wanted to let you know that there was a cyber attack in BC today, and websites went down, and even my internet server, my web hosta, went totally down.
Yeah, big cell phone outage across the United States as well, which I was going to touch on here tonight as well. Yeah. So they're working on getting that back up online.
My website went totally down, and then I looked to call my server, and they were totally down. So, and I know that I think they use a cell tower out of Seattle, so that would make sense.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Anyway, let me move on to this.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Yeah, and I know that the new calls are not coming in, but we will rectify that in a moment. Let me just get through to this next caller who's been waiting on the line, if they're still there. Is there anybody there? Go ahead. Who have I got?
I'm here.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's still you.
It's me again. I'm still here.
Okay, I guess you were the last call. All right, Pam. I'll hang up and reset all this stuff, and we'll get cranked up again. Thank you.
Maybe Lord Will will call in.
Yeah. Okay.
bye-bye.
All right. See you. All right. Give me a couple of minutes here, folks, to rejig everything, get it all reset, and I'll be right back on the other
The
side.
information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick
Thank
Knights.
you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Donate
Goodbye.
at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, looks like we're going to be back in business here. We'll see how long this one lasts. Here's the number to call again. Okay, Mavericks, it's call-in time. Join the conversation. Call now at 1-319-527-6770. That's 1-319-527-6770. Exercise your right to free speech. Call 1-319-527-6770. Call now at 1-902-200-4222. Maverick News. Call now. The world is watching and listening to you. Okay. Let me go back over here and see if we've got any calls in. Yes, we do. They're lined up. Good. All right. Okay, who have I got on the line? Go ahead, you're on the air.
Hello, Rick.
Hello. Can you hear me
What's
okay?
up, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Excellent. Well, the world is listening to you.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great, actually. Well, I'm calling from home with my new TV set and all that, so I'm all set up.
Good.
So everything's fine. Thing I wanted to say about the guy that was angry at the cops, right? First thing first, you ask about those cops' ID first and talk always politely. Never, you never trespass that line, okay? always keep calm, first of all. Second of all, when they ask you about the thing or about what you have done lately, well, you tell them. You ask why they are here or what's the reason of their visit.
Yep.
So you know what's going on. And then if something wrap up or going, like, I don't know, you're going arrested, but you don't think that this arrestation is valid, like false accusation or something like that. Well, there's a law that calls Miranda. You just say about that Miranda thing, right? And that basically englobes your rights as a citizen. So basically, you don't have anything to say more. You need a lawyer or an attorney to check on your rights and make sure that everything's fine. And from there, you should be all safe.
Yeah, well, and don't talk about getting violent and doing violent things. It's just not smart.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate
Keep
that,
calm,
Dragon.
always keep calm with the cops.
Yeah. And I do apologize, folks. This new system is breaking the program into 15-minute increments. I don't know why. So we have 10 minutes left, and then it's going to kick us out again, and I have to rejig the system. So I will do my best to muddle through this tonight, but that's what I'm faced with at the moment until I work this kink out of this. First time I've ever driven this particular car, so I'm still trying to find the gas pedal and the brake. Anything else you want to add tonight, Dragon?
Actually, it was pretty much it. So I wanted the people to know about their rights and that little thing that people doesn't know much about. Actually, that's weird, but yeah. Now people are more enlightened.
Appreciate it. I'm going to move on to kind of keep the calls moving quicker tonight because we are on these 15-minute blocks. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
See ya. Bye. All right. Who's on the line here? Go ahead. Hello. Anybody there? Okay, we'll pick up this call instead.
Ed, and I'll...
Hello, go ahead. Who's this?
Hello, this is Ed.
Ed?
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Ed. Good, you've got me.
Yeah.
I'm Zed, Saskatchewan, in your chat there, and I'm amazed. I found a show that somebody is dealing with Canadian issues. I'm very impressed with that. I have followed politics for a long time, more the U.S. brand than the Canadian brand, and it's the stuff that's going on down there is identical to the stuff that's going on up here. It's all through the UN and the WEF and the WHO, and these people are insane, and they're not going to stop. And there's only one person I think that would have the ability to stop it. And I don't know, were you familiar with the Q posts or anything like that when they first came out?
Yeah, well, I know what Q is, yeah.
Okay, so when they first came out, I followed a channel called Patriot Soapbox, and on there we went through all of the Q posts, but what we did was research, right? So there was so much to be learned on how all of this stuff works, and you learn how it all connects, and it's always about the money, and what is going on is insane. Like, it is so evil that Canadians just can't deal with it at all. I mean, many people around the world can't deal with what the evil that we're having to deal with, and it's breaking people left, right, and center. And you can't let it break you. You just have to step back, take a break, don't swear, don't have hate in your heart, as the good book tells you, and just deal with it. Don't act out violently, because if you act out violently or say anything violently, they set a hook and you just bit the hook.
That's very true.
And you don't want to do that.
No,
you do not want to give them
Not 1 inch of satisfaction, nothing. And I'm not going to comply. I have never complied, and I will not comply now. And like this one last thing I saw yesterday was somebody had done a graph. It was on many people. And this graph showed the bottom line was people who had not had vaccinations. And then it was about the deaths going on. And it was when the vaccine came out that everything spiked. Everything spiked every 10. When the second one came out, it spiked again. And then, but if you had not had the vax, that line was along the bottom. It didn't move. That COVID.
Okay, and I have to caution you. I have to slow you down. We're on YouTube and Facebook, and everybody knows this. So you're preaching to the choir, but I don't want to get the channel in trouble.
Okay.
So I just need you to kind of dial it back. And when we talk about such things here, we talk about Kool-Aid, and then we can speak a little more freely, if you understand my meaning.
I see. Yes, and that's I'm a to the point person, which is getting me always in trouble, obviously.
Yep.
But I want to say that I'm just very impressed. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. People, don't be afraid. We're going to have to deal with this. It's either we deal with it or we're finished. And do it with a smile on your face.
Excellent. I appreciate the call very much.
Have a great day.
All right, you too. And we're going to move on to the next caller. And go ahead. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
This is Jelly Bean Live.
Well, hello, Jilly Bean. Welcome. Good to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my first time calling in. I've been watching every night since June, and I'm active in the chat. And first time calling in. So where do we? I'm a virgin at this, Rick.
All you do is talk. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Well, I'll just say last night I put up a video here on YouTube. I haven't put on a video in about, 13 years, because this was originally just for music. So I lurk every day and watch. So last night I actually put up a video. It was 5 minutes long of me talking.
Yeah.
And I also put it up on Twitter. I'm active on there. And it was removed. The video was removed on YouTube, that is. So that's fine. The truth hurts. My background has led me with my knowledge that I have today. I stand for freedom. A little bit about me, quick rundown. I joined the Army at 18, and I did that for 3 years. And then I got out, was a hairstylist, downtown Ottawa, right near Parliament. Had a huge clientele. I had to change careers because
and I just need to remind you that this phone system is kind of wonky tonight. So everything is broken into short segments. So I need you to kind of get straight to the point, because you, on your call right now, the clock is telling me we've got 3 minutes, and then it's going to kick out again. And then I got to reset, so it may hang up.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to say quickly that we've all been had. Everything's infiltrated. United Nations is actually Lucy's Trust, Lucifer's Trust, Lucy's Trust. Look it up. All 3 levels of our government have been infiltrated. That means provincial, municipal, federal. That's why I'm being shut up in Timmins, and that's why they're after me. But you know what? I'll never shut up, because I swore an oath in front of God. God wins. This is a war. Pick a side, everyone. There's 2 sides. There's good and evil. And the right and left are both infiltrated. It's all a show. They're all bad actors. Okay, so everybody know that. And MAGA includes USA and Canada. So truth will prevail. Thanks for the opportunity.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It involves both the USA and Canada. What does that mean?
Well, people forget that we live in North America. Okay, that includes Canada and U.S. People, you need to rewatch the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson, and you'll see. We've all been sold out. And it's the above 33-degree Masons, and they're the ones that are trying to shut me up, but they never will. So, yeah, we are MAGA. MAGA is against the right and the left, okay? You guys need to know this. I'm not here for accolades or money or anything. I'm not going to go further into that, but all I'm going to say is that you are American, everybody. Wake up. Know your geography. Know your history. Pick a side. There's two sides, good or evil. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you. You have a great night. Appreciate that, Jilly Bean.
You too, and I love you all in chat.
90 seconds.
Yeah, we love you too. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right.
Freedom will prevail.
I hope so. All right, let me...
Where we go one, we go all.
All right. You have a great night. And I'm going to reset the system, and we'll see if we can't...
60 seconds.
We're going to rejig this and start over again. This shouldn't
Thank
be
you
doing
for
this
using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Shouldn't be doing it this way, but it is. So, here we go again. We'll start again. Resetting the system. A lot of buttons to click. I hope I don't click anything wrong. Oh, yes, I have to do that. And I'm doing something wrong, something wrong, something wrong. I think we're okay. Required. I don't know. Give me, I'm going to go to a break. And I'll be right back on the other side. Stay with me.
Maverick News. The world is watching. We are Mavericks. We say no to the Trudeau and Biden New World Order. And to bugs. Because bugs are creepy and gross. And people should not eat bugs. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Hey, no! To bugs!
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay. There's another problem. So I'm going back to the old system. Hang on. We're going to switch over to the old number, which is not difficult to do. Take that one down. And I believe that's the number we're going to call now. 1902-200-4222. Yeah, the old system still works. So give me one moment. And I'll be right back on the other side. In fact, I'll run the promo for you so you get that number up on the screen there. I think we've still got the old one. Maybe I took it down. No, it's right there. There it is. Here's the number to call. Okay, Mavericks, it's call-in time. Join the conversation at 1-902-200-4222. That's 1-902-200-4222. Exercise your right to free speech. Call 1-902-200-4222. Call now at 1-902-200-4222. Maverick News. Call now. The world is watching and listening to you. Okay, I'm just punching some numbers and getting things ready to rock here. It's so hard to do all this as one person, but I'm working on it. Just, you can hang out with me while I push buttons, and I'll just try to entertain you. I may be a little bit boring while I sit here and that should work now. There we go. Okay. And that goes up there, and then we're over there, and we're back in business with the old system. And go ahead, Isabel. Welcome to the Grumpy Man
Hi,
Show.
Rick. How are you doing?
I'm grumpy tonight.
You're not grumpy. It's called frustrated, and we all get frustrated. I agree with Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way around, sustaining yourself. Maybe we're old school. I mean, I was raised with think what you want, watch what you say, loose lips, sink ships. I mean, you're only doing yourself in.
Mm-hmm. Well.
I mean, really. I mean, I have a short fuse. I'm Scottish. I'm 4'11" and a half. I count for the hair height. And I have red hair. I have a short fuse. But on the other hand, if you're going to blatantly threaten somebody, then you get what you ask for.
Yep.
I mean, nobody's in your mind. Well, not yet. They're not. And you can think what you want about somebody. to the deepest level of, I don't know, the darkest hole of what you'd like to do to somebody, but what comes out of your mouth is what's going to get you in trouble.
Yep.
And it's that simple. And I totally agree with Dragon. I've been watching the comments on there, and there's people in there stirring up the pot. There's no doubt about it. And all it's going to do is get other people going, oh, well, if he can do that, I can do that. And that's when it starts. And it's exactly what it does. It pumps up other people to say, hey, that guy thinks the same way I do. I'm going to get together, and away you go. I mean, I raised, 3 kids. I raised 2 boys and a girl. My older son believes in karma. He always believes in karma. What I do to somebody, I'm going to get back. But he's always been on the good side of it. And I don't know if you ever saw years ago, there was a young guy, they called him the $80,000 man in London. It was in the newspapers.
Not familiar. I'm refresh my memory, maybe.
He had found a bag from Brinks. It had been accidentally left outside the washroom in a Tim Hortons in London. And he found the bag and he returned it. Now, he could have took it and walked away, which is what my second son would have done.
Yeah.
My older son, no, he returned it. He called him. He goes, no, it's an honest mistake. And he returned the cash. He's a bus driver. He still drives bus in London. And he returned the cash. And his theory on that, when they wanted to fire the truck drivers, he told the owners of Brink, why would you do that? This guy probably has a family. You know, like if you need to suspend him or whatever, okay. But don't fire him. And I mean, my son could have kept the money. There's no doubt about it. I even said that to him. I would have thought twice about that. But I mean, there's the two ends of the scale. Now, my second son, he'd have taken that and ran like hell. And he's the type that flies off the handle like this guy. There is no medium with my second son. It's black or it's white. And God forbid if you hit that fuse, he goes off like a switch.
Yeah.
So I can see both ends of it, and I don't deal with that one son that does that. I even have to have a restriction on his communication. He cannot communicate with me on Facebook or by phone or by anything because of his threatening attitude. That's hard to do for a parent. But when I see this in other people and I'm like, whoa, slow down, back off, take a breath. And I can lose my temper. Yeah, I'll come home and punch a pillow. I'll take out the vacuum and clean the house. But I don't get like that. It gets you nowhere. And I think this is what they want us to do. They want us to fight within ourselves. We're going to take out the other side. Then they're going to stand back and they're going to friggin' laugh at us. And do not other people see this? This is the whole plan. It's been the plan from the beginning. Stir the people up. It doesn't matter what protest it is, if it's the kids, if it's the flags, if it's the Palestine, whatever it is. They've given us something every time we wake up for another reason to be angry. And instead of us unifying with each other and supporting each other, no, we're going to take out the other side with lies. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, I've shown people here that
I don't know.
you have both sides engaging in dishonest behavior, sometimes outright lying. And it's because they're all politicians. Even the people telling you they're not politicians, they're politicians. You have people seeking power because the group that wants to get rid of the sitting government wants to form the new one. And you better find out what it is they're going to put in place before you tear down what you have. That would be my recommendation. And if they're lying to you to get you angry, you better ask yourself why. Why do they want you angry? What purpose does that serve?
Don't people stop and think, wait a minute, why are they going to this extreme? Like, what is their purpose? You know, that's what I think.
Yeah, because they want power. And some of these people complaining that what a lot of this stuff is crazy, doesn't make sense, because it simply doesn't make sense, because they don't care about things like democracy. These people who are leading a lot of these people are leading groups of us astray, because they're saying, look, there's no democracy. The whole system is broken. It's not worth saving. And there's no political solution. Well, they're not offering you democracy. If you really look at a lot of them, they're offering you the actual opposite. No. And so they want you to destroy the democracy in order to give you something that is the opposite of democracy, which is where you actually have no voice or freedom either, or even less.
Yeah.
Ask where it's going.
And do not people... Yes, and if they look back in history, why was the Constitution brought in? The Constitution was brought in to protect us against this kind of thing, but they want to throw it away. But they keep throwing the Constitution in your face.
Yes, they keep saying, look, it's worthless.
And
It's not even a country. The Constitution isn't even a real thing. Yeah, it's a real thing. That's the only thing that's limiting the power of Justin Trudeau right now, is the Constitution. And that's why he keeps chipping away at it with new legislation and, and using every tool at his disposal to try to erode that thing. But it's taking time, and we still have time, and over time it will self-correct, but we have to be patient, and we have to eject those who are abusing the system. The system's still resilient. It's protecting us. It's not that there is no solution. There are solutions.
Yes. And I firmly believe the only thing that would protect us is going to be the Constitution and our rights.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
right.
Both sides want to get rid of that. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. You get rid of the Constitution, you have
nothing.
nothing.
Trying to brainwash.
Yeah, and then whoever is in place after that, they get to write something new. And we don't even know what that is. I want the blueprint. I want the roadmap. I want to know what the destination is before I get behind anybody. I want to know where we're going before I get in the car and start driving off a cliff.
Yeah. Me too. Because then we end up being a bunch of sheeples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just...
and I'm not ready to be a sheeple.
Well, boggles my mind. But, we've still got...
and it boggles my mind too.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And that's what I look at. And if other people would say the same thing, wait a minute, we have... the Constitution to protect us. And we have our rights. But you guys want to get rid of it here, and you got this part of the government over here that's chipping away piece by piece Trudeau, and these guys are fighting against Trudeau, and they want to get rid of the Constitution. You're going to be left hanging out there in the middle of nowhere now.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Anyway, these guys, but the other thing is, these guys who keep... I keep hearing the same stupid plan. Let's surround this building or that building, and then we'll drag all the politicians out, and we'll execute them. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. And then this guy repeats the plan. So obviously there were, people putting it in his head again before the Freedom Convoy anniversary thing, which was, from in every measure, it was a peaceful, good event. Uneventful, no problems that I saw, which is perfect. Okay, but there are people out there putting crazy ideas in that guy's head, and I'm sure others, because he's obviously been talking to people, and it's the same stupid plan over and over and over again. Let's go down to the cop shop and surround the cop shop and pepper them with paper, and we're not leaving until we get what we want, and blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to go arrest Justin Trudeau and execute him. Yeah, let's get out the road. Like, what stupidity.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to happen.
Hatfields and McCoys, right?
It's not going to happen. And anybody that shows up to do it is just going to get themselves in trouble. It's just stupid.
And then
what can I say? It's mental illness.
And then they're going to go, and then they're going to go, oh, look they persecuted them. Yeah. We're not back in the cowboy days where you got a guy, hung him on the rope and, hullabaloo the whole. We're not going back to that, are we?
No,
that's
exactly
so much far forward.
That's exactly right. It's like, what do people want? You want to go back to the dark ages? Do you want to go back to public hangings? Is that the kind of society you really want?
Yeah.
Really? Listen to yourselves. I don't mean to. I'm not directing this specifically at our family here. I'm just like, because I know there are people out there who are thinking these things, and it's insane. Like, listen.
Yeah, we've come so far along. Why do you want to? That's why we put all this into perspective, and we put it on paper so we wouldn't have to go through this.
It's just.
Now we want to go back to being barbaric instead of being civilized.
Yeah, and I think that for the most part, most of these plans have been sort of neutered, okay? Cut off at the pass sort of thing, which is fine. But then I'm hearing this guy, and I am seeing, people still doing crazy things. And it's not just that. It's, people arrested because they're stalking RFK Jr. or they're shooting up schools or they're suicidal or, there's just all this depression and mental illness out there and and it's because of the video that I showed you where people are being lied to. The truth is bad enough, but when people take that and make it even worse because they want to get you even angrier, that is wrong.
Then they wonder why people go off the deep end.
Yes, and this is why. They're screwing with your mind.
My son said to me, my son said, he came over the other night, he said, I'm going to put on the news. I said, don't put on that stupid CTV. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. But look, it's not CTV. That thing that I played for you, that was a prominent leader in the freedom movement who posted that. I'm not going to name the guy because I don't want to go to war again, okay?
Okay.
And that's... These are people who are supposed to be helping. These are people who are supposed to be leading. These are people who are supposed to be offering us solutions, but they are not. They're worse.
Yeah.
They're worse. There
was one back a while ago, and I'm not going to mention his name either, defining the unity flag and all that shit. And I just wiped him right off because of what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I wanted no part of him anymore.
Yeah, look, I played
didn't
that.
Join the club, let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, and I don't mean to do a Joe Biden there, but I played the WEF clip unedited. I'm not in favor of, mandates.
No.
That's why I'm sitting in the chair, right? But that was bad enough. Yeah. You didn't need to edit it to make it sound like,
no.
Yeah.
We know they're bad enough. The West and the WHO, we all know that. We all know that with Dr. Evil. We all know that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to make it worse.
You don't have to.
You've already got people who are in a dark spot.
Yep.
And they can't get out of that dark place.
And
then you infiltrate and set a little fire.
Yep. And when you lie,
and there you go.
When you lie, then that can be used to discredit everything else. So if you lie about somebody dying from the vaccine once, but you have other proof, for instance, that it is true in these cases, the opponents will focus on that one lie to discredit all of the other stuff. To say, see, they lie. So all of it's a lie. You can't do that. It has to be truthful.
No.
Don't lie.
It has to be. And don't they understand this is what they did to us in the very beginning when they started showing people who were falling in the streets, and that was all an implementation to get you into that fear spot. God, I better go get that thing. I better go get that juice because look at this is what's going to happen. So people were pushed into that fear monger.
Oh, it was terrible.
And where are we now?
Just
now we're finding out that was a lie, and they played with our minds.
And other people
And
are
that
playing
was
with
all
minds
the
in other ways.
slim-
It's like it's coming at you from all sides, and I'm just trying to make people aware.
Oh, yeah.
And the moral of the story is stay calm. Think. Don't do stupid things. Don't get violent. Don't get yourself arrested. Don't do anything dumb. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people.
And how much further do they? Right, like this guy here, had he actually had gone that far, what would it have got him? Nothing. It would have got him a jail term. So do you all want to walk off to jail with this guy because that's where he's leading? Hello?
You know, and I didn't, this was sent to me just before it came on air, and I'm just trying to do a service to people. That's all. And this is an ongoing issue.
We get it,
And I'm tired of talking about it, frankly.
We get it.
So.
Yeah. No, we get it. We get it. It's just the rest that jump on here don't have a clue. They come on and they start spewing out their mouth, and it's like, oh, we got diarrhea going here.
Yep.
Okay.
And
but that's okay. We know where it's going. You have a good night.
Thank you.
And I'll let you get to your next caller, Rick.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for the night because it's almost the bottom of the hour and we're way over time. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care. One last call. Go ahead.
You got some of the something there without a plan to master all your disasters, Rick. Okay, now you put up the video, or you put up the picture of Chrystia Freeland. I don't know if she's first or second most hated in Canada. Okay, and the responses you're going to get in the chat, it's like putting up a certified, bona fide, convicted pedophile. What do you think you're going to get in the chat? Now,
whatever
for the
people,
guy, okay,
whatever you choose to put in the chat.
Well, I got blocked in the chat for a second.
Did you?
Okay, for I don't know what. Yeah. So I'm out of the blockage on the chat on Rumble. So I left YouTube. I went over to Rumble for freedom of speech. Now, I might have said something along the line. Somebody said, "Oh, hang on, use hemp rope." Whatever.
Oh, well, that would do it. Yep. Why would you post something like that?
Hemp rope. What? Use hemp rope?
Yeah. Why would you encourage
I
somebody?
could care less.
Why would you encourage people to hang
I-
other people? Why would you do that?
Well, I do believe something has to change, and I could care less if they all sat in the House of Commons and drank John Jones's Kool-Aid.
Well, you don't come in my chat and
Really?
encourage people, Leo. You don't come in the chat around here and encourage people to engage in violence, and certainly you don't encourage people to hang people. So why would you do that?
Well, why wouldn't I? She deserves,
Because it's wrong.
What do you think she deserves? A medal?
And that's an incitement to
Look at where the
violence. It's
country's
illegal.
going.
It puts the entire channel in
No, it's
jeopardy,
not
and
illegal.
it's stupid.
No, it's not incitement to violence, and it's not illegal. Okay,
You're encouraging people. You're encouraging people, and you're reinforcing this narrative that people keep being told, which is to go out and pull the politicians out of the Parliament buildings or whatever building they're going to surround this week, and drag them all out into the public square and hang them. And you know that that's what they're being told, and then you're in there and you're telling them what type of rope to use. You just said that. So why would you do something like that?
use hemp. Because
Well,
hemp's stronger.
That's unacceptable around here.
Well, that's not freedom of speech. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
actually, Leo, that's
No, I
because
get
to
it.
have a
It's not
serious
I'm not
conversation about
inciting
freedom of
anything.
speech, there are always limits. You can't yell fire in a movie theater. You can't encourage people to go out and engage in violence. You can't give them instructions in ways to do that. It's illegal for one thing, and it's immoral and unethical. It's
As
irresponsible.
for the guy who called, okay, and as for the video that you showed, okay, for the guy to sit there, okay, and you asked him, am I being charged of something?
And
No,
you know,
what are you doing here? Really, what are you doing here? Get off my porch. You don't have a warrant for my arrest, and you have every right as a Canadian citizen, okay, to do that.
and it's entirely appropriate for them to
Yeah,
go there and
I've told the
respond
cops-
to the complaint and have a conversation with him, which is what they did. They didn't do anything wrong either.
Well,
And
if
they were
there was no
there-
charges being laid, okay, I'm sure they could have informed Chrystia Freeland, hey, he did nothing wrong.
Well, they went and had a conversation
didn't
with him. What's
threaten her.
wrong with that? Are the police not allowed to go talk
Well-
to people? They're just doing their job, which is to just go and have a conversation with the guy to find out what the issue is. They didn't do anything wrong, Leo.
It's not illegal. It's illegal for me to say, hey, I want to go hang Chrystia Freeland. That's illegal.
It's also
Now, it ain't
illegal for you
me
to give
say,
people instructions
hey,
and ways to do
somebody
it.
hangs her. Well, it ain't illegal for me to say, I hope somebody hangs her. Or I hope they all commit mass suicide now as the Commons. Okay, this happened before the video, okay, the decline of what we're seeing right now. Okay, when people don't have enough money to eat, okay, I don't know what you're thinking, but there's a lot of people struggling in this country, a lot more than there was.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking is
2015.
I'm thinking that people need to calm the hell down and get rational and not encourage other people to go out and hang people. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking I'm not real comfortable with people coming in here on my show talking the way you're talking and encouraging people to get violent. And you know that I don't tolerate
I
it.
could care less.
Yeah,
Really.
I'm sure that
I
you
know,
could.
but I could care
You
less
don't.
what happens in the House of Commons.
Yeah, I know.
I'd probably film it for Facebook Live and get the clicks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's me. Okay, now what they've done can't
See,
be undone.
the thing
We
is,
gotta-
Leo, you know, you're viewed in this community as a leader, and I've told you that, and I've always had a lot of respect for you, and I appreciate a lot of the things that you've done around here, and you know. But when you and I are talking, it's generally been pretty positive. But I also know that, you know, when it's not you talking to me, you're talking a lot of negative shit, and that's not helpful. And
I say a lot of shit in chat. The other day, I said Justin Trudeau's as slippery as KY jelly on a dildo. Okay, because
Classy.
he is. He's slick and he's slippery.
Yeah, that's
Well, it
classy.
is classy, and that's what he
Yeah.
is. To the point, you're missing the whole point.
I'm not
When you have
missing
a
any
government
point.
telling you, oh yeah, when you have a government telling you what to eat, how to raise your children, what you can.
You know what
to
you
say,
are?
okay?
You're just
block
like
the news.
You know
block
what
the
you
this,
are?
that. I've had it, man.
You, sir, are just like Ron Clark.
I don't think so.
Oh, you're doing
I
exactly
don't
what
think
he
so.
does right
Not
now.
even close.
You're fear mongering. That's what he does.
Well,
That's what you do.
It ain't fear mongering.
You don't have to. You don't do it all the time. You don't do it all the time.
Censorship, fear mongering. Hey, the fear mongering's the censorship that's going on. The fear mongering's a 67% tax.
Hey,
That's
there
fear-mongering?
there are
It's the truth,
problems. Yes, there are, but that doesn't mean you tell people what type of rope to use.
So throw up. It's your show, not my show, by the way. Okay.
It
so
is
let's
indeed.
throw up a picture of Chrystia Freeland and go. She's been threatened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has she been threatened? Like for real threats. That wasn't a real threat. I'm sure she's been really threatened.
Well, I don't know what the phone call was like that was placed to her, but it was enough to send the cops to the guy's house. And when you're making a phone
But it
call to
wasn't
the
enough
Prime
to charge
Minister, I phoned the Prime Minister's office talking about the Tucker Carlson thing, and the cops didn't show up on my doorstep. So whatever
show
he
up at
said
Tucker's?
must have been a little bit different in tone than what I said.
Well, he's saying the same thing I'm saying. We're run by a bunch of tyrants. We're on the borderline of communism, and you don't even see it. I'm smelling it. I don't know. And 99% of your chat senses it too.
Well, that's
Okay,
fine,
they're
you know,
not
and
stupid.
that
They see what-
and
they see what's going
I
on in
sense
Canadian
it too,
politics.
Leo. But I don't incite people to violence, and I don't tolerate it here. And you know, I've kicked people out of here for that reason, because that's not free speech. That's malicious, and that's misleading, and it's not doing anyone a service here. In fact, quite the opposite. You're doing people a disservice. It hurts people. It puts people in jeopardy. It puts them at risk. And it is not a solution.
You're
quite the opposite.
Well, what's the solution?
We
never talk about the solution.
Sure we do. I've talked about it many times here. There are various
It's called
ways
an
forward.
election.
Yeah, it's called an election.
It's called an election.
It has
and
to
by
be.
the time the next election comes, it's going to be too late.
No, it won't.
Is
It's
what
never
I'm
too
saying.
late.
And-
Even after the Soviet Union fell apart and there was nothing left, even after Germany was bombed to dust, they still rebuilt. It doesn't matter how bad it gets, you can always rebuild. Now, I don't want it to get that bad. I want it to come back, but I'll tell you this, you don't get back to democracy, you don't get back to freedom through a different kind of tyranny. And tyranny comes at the end of a goddamn rope. Guaranteed.
Well, when they suppress,
Who's
when they
gonna
suppress
gonna
protests,
rule over us,
what's
Leo,
this
at the
done?
on the other end of that rope? You?
The farmers? Maybe the farmers?
You gonna rule us at the
Maybe
end
the
after the rope?
I
It won't
ain't
be the
ruling
farmers. It won't be the farmers. The farmers will be the ones paying the price, as they always do, as all the common people do, when those who edit videos to scare the shit out of people manipulate them and others and all of us in order to go and throw ourselves into the line of fire, run out into no man's land to get shot because you're not thinking, because you're emotional, because they've scared the crap out of you. Some fake freedom fighter who scares people with edited videos to make things look even worse than they are, to get people really screwed up in the head so that they go pick up a gun or call like you are right
I'm
now
not
to
saying
go and
that.
hang
I've never
people.
Said that. I've never said go get a gun, but like I said, it's my thoughts. It's freedom of speech, my freedom of thought. And if
You crossed the line.
Feel they should all drink the fucking Kool-Aid or take the you know what in the ass. Okay, they could do that.
I love you, man. You know, but
I don't care.
But
I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and nobody can change that. I'm not saying go down to Parliament, string them up, hang them. That ain't ever going to happen.
no, because you just said you did in the chat.
I'd like to see it happen. Hey, I'd like to see somebody do it. I'm not doing it.
No, you're just encouraging others to because you won't do it yourself. That's not cool.
Yeah, I'm a pussy. That's why.
No, I'm not. I don't want
I'm a pussy,
anybody
that's
to.
right.
It's not cool to do that.
It's not cool what they're doing to the people.
Well, it's not cool what you're
Your next
doing, and
door
you need to
neighbor,
rise above it.
people
We
in
need to
Chatham,
be
people
better
in
than
Windsor.
that. We need to be better than that. And we are better than that, unless other people screw with people's heads and say things like that in the chat.
People need to. People
And
need to
that's
start
not what we
standing up
do
and
here.
go on a protest. And but wait, but we can't go on a protest because we've seen what happened. See what happened to Tom Marazzo? Well, the witch you got on the story cover tonight. What'd she do? She laughed as she drained the banks of people like Tom Marazzo with a sick child. And you know, come on, Rick.
I'm not making
Really?
any excuses for the government,
we're-
but you are.
we're-
But
we're on
people
the
are
verge.
protesting, and we
We're
are
on the
winning,
verge.
and there is progress being made. And I'll tell you this: you're going to lose
Where's
instantly
the progress being
if
made?
you get
There's none.
violent.
Show
You're
me
going
the
to lose.
progress. Show me the progress. Show me the progress that has been won. What did we win? Did we win anything in court? No,
Yeah.
the government's
Yeah.
appealing it.
Yeah.
And probably that video that was released. Probably that's why I'm not so
Takes
sure
time.
on the content of the video. Okay, and the timing of the video. so that Freeland can.
Well, if it's that bad, Leo, we're not making any
right to
progress. We're
justify-
not winning anything, and it's all doom, gloom, and despair, like you and Ron Clark say. Then what's your solution, Mr. Hemp Rope Man? What is it?
Mr. Hemp Rope Man.
Go ahead.
Hemp's
What
a
is it?
good
What's your
product.
solution?
It replaces. My solution is I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your show. Come up with a solution. Run a show on a solution.
I've done that.
Because a lot of people in your chat feel like me, or worse.
Okay.
See, I work every day. Okay, I still go to work every day.
I've gone over the solutions here. There are many things that need to happen in order for us to get to the solution. And I've laid those things out. But it's not just me. I can't do it alone. I'm doing part of my part here, and I've given people a roadmap, but you have to get involved. You have to exercise your agency. You have to get involved. Everybody has to get involved. And there are options. But not just go and vote.
When you get involved, they shut it down. You get involved. You go to a peaceful protest.
These protests and all of this stuff, they've got you all going around in circles. And I've told you this, all of you, but it's like I just talk into a brick wall because people are so emotional and you're just so focused on all of these crazy things. Everybody's looking at the chemtrails instead of looking at what the real problem is or the real solutions. And I've told you, I gave you the solution with the Conservatives. When it wasn't clear if Poilevre was going to be elected as the leader of the party, what did I tell people? I said, here's the solution to this particular problem. You go buy a membership for whatever it was, $10 or whatever, and then you get to vote for him. And then when you become a party member, you can actually go to the party conventions and get involved and make sure that the issues that you care about become part of the party platform, a plank in the party platform, which then gets carried forward into Parliament as policy and new legislation or changes to legislation. But you don't just go vote and wait for them to come up with the solution. You go in and you help develop the policies. You mold the party to carry your concerns forward. That's where it starts, is right there at the grassroots.
Why do you show us? But why do you show us a video when you know how we're going to react to it? You know, why don't you?
Because
just
that's part of the problem.
Wait. I watched a great video. I watched a great video by you the other day about a Halcyon Chrysler car. Okay, and I enjoyed that fucking video. Okay, it's the car of the future, the Halcyon. You know. We're stuck in this fucking negative, doom and gloom. It's like, fuck. And it's not just you. It's not just you. It's fucking everybody.
Right, Leo, my friend. Listen, but look what happened the other night. I said, tonight, I want people to call in and tell me what you love about the country. I don't want to hear any negative stuff. Just call in and tell me what you love about Canada, because that gives people pride in their country. It gives people hope. It gives people a little bit of nostalgia to remember what it is we're fighting for or should be fighting for. And what did you do? You were still embracing the negativity, and you called in and you just ignored me, and you just started talking about all the negative stuff again. And I get it, man. It's like a, I don't know, it's a chemical thing with everybody. It's like everybody's focused on it. But we got to stop. I'm with you on that. And that's why sometimes I run positive things.
You run. You could have ran the Joe Biden or the mayor of New York giving out $10,000 per refugee, and people would be fired up, right? And that's news. That's what's going on.
Yeah,
well, trying to get it going
news.
on
There's all kinds of bad news out there, and we have to focus on those issues, and we do.
It's not just your.
Yeah.
It's all news. Okay, it's fucking retarded, and I hate to use that word. That's what it is. Okay, and it's all doom and fucking gloom, and it's like, you know, I'm just ready to unplug. I'm just gonna unplug the fucking internet.
And that's good, man. We have to do that sometimes, because a lot of this is just clickbait. A lot of it, you know, it's online. It seems much worse than it is, because the people putting that stuff out there are trying to get clicks and eyeballs. So that's one reason for it. The thing I ran for you, though, with that edited video, it goes way beyond that. what that guy's doing.
Yeah, but that, you know what I caught in that video, that was after the convoy in Ottawa, because something you said in that video that struck me was, oh, you seized bank accounts. Well, the seized bank accounts came after the fucking.
Oh, I'm not talking about that video. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Klaus Schwab Pfizer guy. That thing. That's
I don't even listen to that. I don't even listen to that fucking shit.
No, but look, the point.
If you ask me what I think about
edited.
WHIP. I really don't know anything about WHIP.
It's at the heart
I don't know anything about
a lot of this stuff.
WEF. So. I get it, but these guys are talking. I can't even understand them. It's fucking worse than Scottish, old Scottish, Gaelic. Okay, I can't even understand them. They sound like fucking Nazis. I don't know.
These are serious issues, my friend. But you know,
they are.
But the people that want to get rid of Trudeau, some of them, are more dangerous. Trust me. And I'm showing you what that guy's doing, right? So you don't want to go there.
But all I'm saying is when you put up fucking two of the most hated people in the world, I don't know, or in the world in Canada, and that's Freeland or Justin Trudeau, you could flip a coin on that. You're going to get some really negative responses in your chat. Okay, period. You're going to.
Regardless,
it's regardless.
There's no. It's not acceptable to incite violence in the chat, no matter what. No matter what politician I put up, doesn't matter if I'm putting up Putin or Biden or Trudeau or Poilevre or Adolf Hitler. It doesn't justify incitement of violence here. Period.
Yeah,
and that's not free speech.
I get you 100%. No, I do. You know what? And I apologize because I'm a bigger man than some people think, but I'll apologize. But yeah, I guess me saying use hemp rope or whatever, fucking whatever. Okay,
Leo,
I didn't think nothing of it.
The thing is, like, you've come to be a leader
I'm no leader.
But
don't follow
people,
me.
Whether you like it or not,
I tell everybody, don't follow me.
But people do look up to you, whether you like it or not. So it's up to you now to choose.
Well, they shouldn't.
Well,
they shouldn't. I'm just a village idiot. Okay, I'm just a village idiot that knows what time of day it is in my village.
Okay,
and I know we're all getting screwed, and it's not just me. Okay, that'd be selfish for me to say, oh, it's just me. It's not. We're all getting it. Okay, and I don't know what the solution is. Really, I don't.
Well,
I don't.
I'm trying to help.
I wish I did.
I'm trying to help, and I'm bringing people on. Some people sometimes who have solutions, and I talk to people who are bad people too, right? I talk to a variety of people, but some people who come on here do have solutions or partial solutions, and we're all working toward that. And I think I've got a couple of people within the next week who are going to talk about solutions. So, you know, I'm working. That's a big part of what we do here, and and it's also about trying to support people like this Kayla that we had on, you know, talking about the health issues that she's got and the fundraiser that's going on. And I can't do that if people don't support the channel. And I appreciate this.
I pray to God.
Right. So I'm trying to help her.
I pray to God. I pray to God the next government, okay, does something to fix what's going on, or we're in real deep shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what anybody says, we're in real deep shit. We're in deep shit now, more than you think. You look at the deficit for starters, and it just manifests down to everything, okay? So it manifests into things that are so huge, Gates, for the next few generations.
Yep.
And that would be austerity measures in order to get out of debt.
Well,
so hopefully it works out. I pray to God that
people
Poilevre, okay, the sooner it gets in, the better we're going to be. Hopefully, and I'm praying for that. Right?
No rope, no violence. Don't do anything stupid. If you've got issues, just pull back, man. Don't be like the guy in the video. Don't be like the guy who cut his dad's head off. Don't be like that. Oh. You don't need to be there, man. You know, don't think bad things about yourself. Think positive thoughts. Don't do crazy things. Don't follow people who ask you to do things that are going to get you in trouble. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your own backyard. Clean up your bedroom, and then you can help other people. We can move forward then.
That's the only thing you can do, man.
And you help your community by helping yourself. And Leo, that's my message to you tonight too, sir, is okay, you don't want to be a leader, you still have a responsibility to yourself, and that's to be the best person you can be. And that starts with, you're the mouth of the South, watch your mouth.
Good things.
Watch your
Doing
mouth.
Good things.
Yes,
You know
say
what,
good things with that mouth.
But my whole thing is, if you stay in a negative, okay, and me, I'm so positive all the time because I could find, I get a negative one day, I could find 10 positives in the same day, okay, and I find them, and that's what keeps me positive 99.9% of the time, okay. But like I said, everything I see on the internet's negative, doom and gloom. It's driving me up the fucking wall, as you see, right? So, I work every day, man. I don't miss a lick, even though I ain't doing shit. There's nothing. Imagine 20 people on the shop floor. Everybody's sitting at their computer screens right now. I swear to God, Rick, if I did a video, you'd go, you got to be fucking joking me. There's no work, zero. But they're paying us.
Yeah. It's
and everybody's on their computer screen. It's like, I'm just ready to grab the mop and it's just mop the 100,000 square foot floor.
Yeah, we've got serious issues out there, man, with the economy and with it's just we know what the problems are. We'll get through it. We're going to get through it. It's tough our country has been through so much in the past too. Really bad times. The Depression, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korean War. We've been through a lot of these things before. We've been through massive inflation in the 70s. We've been through all kinds of problems, but not, it's worse.
It's like history's repeating itself, and
history's
repeating itself, and there's nothing you can do. There's nothing. Just sit back and grab a bag of popcorn, I guess, and pray for the best, and do what you got to do to survive, right?
Yeah, take care of yourself, take care of your family, keep your house in order.
Take care of your neighbors, man.
Take care of your neighbors. You take care of yourself first, and then you can help others. That's the key to individualism. That's be responsible to yourself and your family first so that you can then go out and make your community a better place. You can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself. So start there and then move forward with other things. And I will.
Well spoken, Rick.
And I will sit in this chair and try to give you solutions to problems, to the problem, the best I can, not just by myself, but by bringing guests on, by bringing people here who also have real solutions. And I'll expose problems. That's what journalism is about. Show the bad, also show the good. Hold people. I'm here to hold the politicians accountable. That's what real journalism is. That's how you hold them accountable. Through journalism, me acting as the eyes and ears of the public, and then at the ballot box, and ultimately, if necessary, using the justice system, the legal system. Don't listen to these other people who want to tear it all down, drag them all out, and do crazy, stupid things. And I know, Leo, that in your heart, you don't want to do that.
This is not a threat, but I love the term holding their feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I really like it, even though it sounds a little violent. Okay, witching days.
No, that's like not at all. Holding their feet to the fire.
But I'm going to continue doing it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm going to continue doing it, right? And I'm going to do it to Brian Massey and any of my elected officials that are around here, right?
Because, sure.
It's the only thing I can do. It's the only thing I can do.
Only thing you can do.
Hopefully they wake up, and like I said, you could pray they ain't going to wake up. They're getting paid regardless of ski mask way, right? So it is what it is. Make people awake. It's the only thing we can do, right? Wake up the sleeping.
Well, but also we need to, I think, keep people grounded and focused on reality. Because when people are going way over here because they think that, I don't know, I don't even want to tell you, like talk about the crazy things, but if you're going doing the crazy things,
It's brutal.
Then you're complete
brutal.
loss. It's useless. People think
It-
they're being
it's
productive.
brutal.
They're running
The shit
around,
that-
and the surrounding the
shit that I
buildings.
see
and,
online
you know,
is brutal.
It is. It's
Right? It's brutal. 800 drones going to Ukraine while people are starving in the streets. Like, wow, right?
Yeah.
It's,
That's a real issue, though.
Well,
we
we
need
don't-
to,
we-
but see,
we-
that's a real problem. So we need to tell people that so they know what the real problem is, but not get focused on things that
Right.
aren't really problems.
Well, ride scam.
That's a real problem.
It's huge problems.
Huge
so
problems.
the faster we get this Trudeau out of office by voting, right?
That's right.
I don't know. Keep putting pressure on the NDP. Like I said, man, they're the only ones that can get us to move us that forward.
We're almost
Okay,
to we're almost to
in-
March where
in
the
call
whole
for
deal
election.
is going to fall apart. I think you're right. So there's that.
Yeah.
So listen, man, I'm just
We can
appealing
pray
to.
it don't-
So
it
let's
don't work out.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, and I'm just going to appeal to you, please. Keep it clean. Keep it on
I'll keep it clean.
on the right side of the line, please. Okay.
I'll keep it clean in your show, but on the next show afterwards, it's going to get dirty. How's that sound?
I have no control over
Like,
what other people
he's
do
a-
in other places,
he's
but around
slippery.
here,
He's as slippery, like I said, he's as slippery as KY jelly on you know what. And that's the way I feel about him, right? He's slick. So it is what it is. I'll keep the tone down on there.
thank you. That's all I'm
Thanks, Rick.
asking. Have a good night, Leo. Okay, folks. We are gonna. All right, one more. Go ahead. Is this John?
Hello?
Hello.
Quickly. Yeah.
Real quick.
Everybody's getting all uptight over Freeland.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that diaper head yesterday? He says that if Trudeau doesn't sign the deal, free meds for everybody, he's pulling
John,
out.
I'm gonna John.
This was yesterday.
John.
Yeah.
Okay. You two. All right. I love you. You become a friend. You remember when you first started calling into the show? And people love you because you were funnier and all heck. Okay. And then some things were said that, it wasn't maybe quite as funny as it was before. And then like, I didn't have an issue with it, but you got kind of embarrassed by it and you didn't call back for a while. It's way worse what you're doing right now. This
What did I do?
the pejorative reference to Jagmeet Singh's.
I don't know his name. All I know is
Well, you don't call him. You
I
got to
got
watch.
lots of jokes, but you don't want to hear the jokes.
I know because they're distasteful. They're offensive to a lot of people, and I am about free speech. But again, that
Jack-
years the line.
Jagmeet, whatever his name is.
Okay.
Yesterday, he said, yeah, I know you didn't cover it, but yesterday he says if Trudeau doesn't honor free prescriptions for everybody, he's pulling out.
Right.
And he wants to see 2 prescriptions right away. The birth control and the diabetes right away. He wants that like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't cover that. But anyways, you think Trudeau's going to do that? I don't think so. We don't have the money.
I don't know. That's the problem with the people on the left.
We
Is
don't
they
have the
always
money.
they always eat themselves. They self-destruct because they never quit. They keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I've seen it happen over and over again with socialist governments, the ones that are like the NDP in particular. When the NDP was elected in Ontario, they were one term, and that's for the exact same reason. The government came in and the unions pushed, the public unions pushed Bob Rae and the NDP to give them more and more and more, and he couldn't deliver. He didn't have the budget. And so they actually campaigned against him in the next election. The people who got him elected the first time, he just self-destructed. That's what ends up happening. But that's a whole other story. And the same thing with this alliance. It's definitely coming. And I did talk about it. Yep. I've been talking about it quite a bit this month. The alliance is going to fall apart probably, and then it won't be too much longer after that before we get to a serious issue that turns into a vote of confidence in the House of Commons, and we will get an election. And I've said to people, look for an election sometime next fall. They won't go to the polls in the summer. They'll campaign through the summer. They don't like to go to the polls in the summer because so many people are away on vacation. So they will set a date in the fall. That's what my prediction has been for a while. And it's because this thing's going to fall apart, this coalition. So you're quite right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I feel it too.
Yeah.
Another thing, this morning I woke up, was watching Al Jazeera.
Mm-hmm.
They showed bodies, Russian soldiers, missing legs, dead. 60 of them.
Yeah.
Some missile that
I heard
Ukraine
something
sent.
about that. Yeah.
Kevin never called in about that. It was right near neck of his woods there.
Oh, is that right?
Anyways.
I heard something about it today.
Still sleeping.
I heard, yeah, I don't know.
Sleeping like a bear.
I didn't hear, but
sleeping like a bear, eh?
Yeah. Well, I suppose so.
No, that. But Al Jazeera showed these soldiers. They had them all side by side on the ground.
Oh my!
And there was missing parts everywhere. Missing parts. It was gruesome.
Yeah,
not a.
I don't like to show the stuff like that on here. It's it's
no,
out there.
I
it's out there.
Either,
but and all I can say is both sides suffering immensely, huge losses. Everything I read about Avdiivka, it was just a bloody meat grinder of a battle, and so many deaths on both sides, and it's just tragic for both sides. Yeah. I just wish it would stop.
I don't think it's going to stop. There's too much hatred.
Yeah.
The U.S. hate Russia really bad. They hate Russia, and they don't want them. They don't want them around because they don't see the U.S. They're big bullies. They want everybody to be like them. We're a free country. Bullshit. Look at.
I see
all the trouble they stir up. That's not free.
Well, I see the arguments on both sides, and if you really the U.S. argument is pretty much lost a wash, right? I don't agree with really the U.S. position or the NATO position. I understand it, and technically I understand it, and I think both positions have validity, technically, but ethically, strategically, I think it was just stupid. It's been stupid what the U.S. has been doing in NATO. So I don't agree with it. And we didn't need to pay this price. At the same time, I understand it. I hope that you understand. It's like Ukraine. Is Ukraine a country? That's the question. And if they are a country,
money laundering country, yeah.
Well, okay, but wait a minute. If they are a country, should they have the right to self-governance? Should they have the right to self-determination? Should they have the right to elect their own government and make their own policies and do what a country does?
Who are we to tell Ukraine or Africa or whatever, Gaza or wherever?
Right.
Who are we to tell them how they should be?
You're quite right.
Canada.
You are quite.
We got our own problems.
You're quite right. But the problem for a country like Ukraine always has been that they live right next door to a superpower, and so when you live next door to a superpower, even Canada, Are we truly independent? No. We have to bend to the will of the United States to a great degree because we're on their doorstep. We can't be a threat to them in any way. That's why we don't have a lot of arms manufacturing here. Like we're militarily, we're not that strong because they don't want us to, they don't want a threat on their border. It's the same thing with a country like Ukraine. And Ukraine has been used as a doormat throughout history.
That's right.
You know, people going in and out of Russia, invading and not invading, and invading and not invading. And the Russians come in, and then the Nazis come in, and then the back and forth, and the back and the forth. And the poor people of Ukraine, they're like it's like, do we really have a country? And Vladimir Putin is basically saying, no, not really, because here's these documents, Tucker Carlson, that show that Ukraine really belongs to Russia. And so we have every justification for going in there, and there's some argument maybe to be made on that side. On the other side, NATO is saying, and the United States is saying, no, Ukraine is a sovereign nation, and they have the right to self-determination, and they elected a government that was pro-Western and wanted to join the EU in 2014. And Putin is saying, no, they didn't. That was a color revolution. That was a CIA overthrow. And the West is saying, no, it wasn't. The people actually had a legitimate vote. And so there's the dispute. And then it's like Donald Trump and Joe Biden saying, the whole thing was rigged. And now our country's, falling apart for the same reasons because there's no confidence in the system. But so it still begs the question, should Ukraine be allowed to determine its own destiny? And I've said from the very beginning that yes, they should, but they should be a neutral country. Both Russia and the United States should agree to stay the hell out of there and let the people of Ukraine run their own affairs and have a true country and have their own elections. But the problem is neither side is willing to do that. They both want control of Ukraine by having a government in there that does their bidding, essentially,
you got it
right?
Wrong. You got it wrong, Rick.
Oh, is that right?
You got it wrong.
How so?
You know what I think is happening? You know what I think is happening is the U.S., they always get their nose in somebody else's business. What they're doing is they're using Ukraine to drive up prices. Ukraine, a lot of good flour, sunflower oil, all kinds of shit. The prices have gone up. They're driving the inflation high because of this war, and also they're using Ukraine to go to a one world government. I'm telling you, Rick, the banks are going to collapse very shortly. Not in Canada so much. In the U.S., a lot of the banks, world banks, right now they're already collapsing. In Switzerland, Germany, U.S., they're already collapsing. A lot of the banks.
Why is that, John?
And then they're going to go to.
Why do you think the banks are collapsing?
Because of the wars,
No.
the Ukraine and the Gaza war. They don't want to stop these wars. They don't want to stop these wars. They're going to bankrupt everybody. And it's going to cause one world government.
Who wants to bankrupt
You watch.
us? Who wants to bankrupt us?
Whoever's controlling the states.
I'll tell you who wants to
Whoever's
bankrupt. I'll tell you
Rothschilds, I don't know who's controlling them.
who wants to bankrupt the states? Who? I'll tell you who. The BRICS nations. That's who. The BRICS, the formation of BRICS with their own currency is a direct assault on the West through an economic system. It's a direct competitor, and so
They're trying to counteract.
Yeah, and ultimately take it down.
They're trying to counter.
That's what
they don't want
they
to
would
play
like.
the U.S. games.
That's right. They want to
Anyways.
disengage. They don't want to be under the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency anymore, because you see that also represents a form of sovereignty. If everyone is on one currency, the U.S. dollar, then do you really have ultimately sovereign control over your country? No, because then the U.S. can sanction you because they control the banking system and the monetary system. So other countries don't want that. They want autonomy. They want sovereignty, economic sovereignty. That's why the BRICS nations have been formed, as a direct alternative and ultimately a rival economic system. But make no mistake, both groups, the West and the BRICS nations, East versus the West, as it's been for so long, are competing, jockeying for a position for world dominance. And if they can undermine the dollar, they also undermine the military threat to all of those BRICS nations, to China, to Russia, to Iran. You undermine the economy, the U.S. can't support the military, either through other countries or even maybe their own. And that's how you win the war. World War III.
The wars are just. It was 2 nights ago on Coast to Coast. Harry Dent. I don't know if you ever heard of Harry Dent. This guy's been around as long as he's an economist. He's been around as long as you. Anyways, I listened to the guy. He was on for not a couple of hours. He moved to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico? Yeah, Puerto Rico. That's
Yeah, they have
part
lower
of the
taxes
U.S.,
there.
right?
Yeah.
He sold his house. He sold his house in the States. He says he got a real good buck for it, and he bought a house there, fraction of the price. He likes the weather, and he says the housing is going to collapse within 3 years. It's all going to go down 30, 40, 50%. He says it's going to collapse. They're going to go to digital currency. They're already doing that in China. It's going to come here. We're in big trouble. So he's down. He says, if you're smart right now, one guy called in and he goes, I bought my house about 10 years ago. I'm up about 5 times what I paid for it. He says, if I were you, I would sell it, rent, and buy it back cheaper. Unless you like your neighborhood and you don't plan on moving ever again, then just stay there, right? He says. But anyhow,
maybe
he said that we're going digital currency. So I listen.
So they
There's
say.
a lot more to it, but anyways,
Yeah. The problem with you know what the problem with most of the
I'll call you Leo and tell you those jokes.
You know the problem, John, is with most of these economists that I see these days, is that they're not truly economists. They're political activists. They're really
Harry Dent has got a lot of books out.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not familiar with them. Like, I don't care how many books a guy writes. It really comes down to whether they're talking about economic theory, or if it's or if they're sitting there talking about political ideology. And so many of them today, really, it's about political ideology. And then they say they're economists, but it's an economic system that is actually part of a political ideology. Anyway, I
Harry
digress.
Dent is a good one.
Isn't Harry Dent a villain in Batman?
Good show, Rick.
Isn't Harry Dent a villain in the Batman
We got
series?
you going without saying anything about Gaza. How's that?
Yeah, well, I was waiting for that.
Gaza.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no, I don't want to go there, but
yeah,
Al Jazeera. You see the money that U.S. has given Israel for it's unbelievable the money they're getting.
Yeah, you should go to Qatar and see the money that all the Hamas leaders have there, and the life of opulence that they're living, while people in Gaza are getting the crap bombed out of them.
$9 trillion.
Yeah.
You know what else they said? They had an economist on Al Jazeera. They said that Israel's going broke with this war. First of all, they have no travel there. Nobody wants to go there, so they're losing tons of money on whatever you call it.
Tourism.
Nobody's going there to visit. Tourism. They're losing a ton of money.
Yep.
Nobody wants, and they're going broke with this war. It's costing them. They're borrowing so much money.
I got news for you, John. We're all going broke with the war.
$9 trillion in the hole.
We're all
$9
going,
trillion in the hole.
We're all going broke with those stupid wars. That's why they got to end. But
$9 trillion in the hole.
we're gonna.
That's what
I
he
got.
said.
I got to
A lot
move
of
on.
cash.
I've got a bunch
First.
of calls here. I
Okay, Rick.
wasn't going to keep talking. I love you, John, and thank you for
Yep. Talk
dialing
to you
it back
another
a
time.
little bit
All
for
right.
me tonight. Okay, thank you. And here's
Okay. All right,
Antonio. Hey, how are you tonight, Antonio?
Good evening, Rick.
It is
Hi,
so,
Rick.
so good to hear from you. I haven't
Long
heard from you in a
time.
while. Yes, thank you for calling tonight. I needed to hear your voice.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, like always, I thank you for all you do. And, yeah, I just wanted to give a few words of, like, hope. Because, you know, these guys, they're definitely instilling fear into many people. And you know, if you say that you're a believer in God, okay, these days, like, you shouldn't have that fear in you, because people, they ought to look at you, if you're a believer in God, and say, what's the hope that this guy has in him? So if you're going around gloomy, how can you enlighten anyone? You hear what I'm saying, Rick?
Oh, yes, Antonio, I do. Yes.
So I think it's important, like, to really trust God and His promises, and they're good. And you know, God is good, and He has many promises. And if you seek, you'll find. You know, like, if I didn't have God in my life in these days, I'd be without hope, and that's the truth, Rick. All that I see that's going on, like, I don't have to speak to you about the geopolitical climate, because we all know what it is, right? And so, you know, and the other thing that brings me hope is that God, in His Word, He tells us these things are coming to warn us that we might know. So this way, you know, we see to brace for it. And, you know, and for me, I have, you know, the hope that He's coming, you know, and whether I die or I live, you know, that He's going to take me. And, you know, fear not those that could harm the body. You know, fear Him that can harm both body and soul, you know, that can put it in hell. So, you know, this is what we should really be fearing, is God. So I hope that enlightens everyone.
Yes. We needed your words of hope tonight, Antonio.
You know, I would encourage everyone, pick up a Bible. His word is true. You can rely on it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, prophecy is unfolding. You know, even today as we live. So.
Yes.
You know, hang in there, stay strong. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and hope and of a sound mind. And we got to stay, you know, sound.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Rick.
It was a beautiful, Antonio, it was a beautiful day today. I mean, it was just absolutely gorgeous here.
Day, sir.
The sun was out. It was so warm. You know?
Definitely something to be thankful for, you know?
Oh, yes.
Every day I sit down at the table, I don't know when I'm going to get my next meal, but I'm thankful for the one I do have before me, you know? So, but, you know, God's not going to give us any more than we can handle. That's a promise in His Word. So, you know, if you believe that and in His promises, then, you know, you shouldn't be fearing today.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Antonio.
Read the Word. It's so powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. You know.
Thank you. Don't wait so long to call back next time. Okay.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you for all you do, sir. God be with you, Rick.
Love you, Antonio.
All the best, Carl.
Take care.
Love you too, brother. Ciao.
And I see that John is on the line, but John, I have to wrap up. If you need to call me, just call me directly and we'll chat privately. Okay? It would be maybe a better place just to make sure that we're on the right track before we start talking about things in public. And folks, that is going to wrap it up for tonight. We're going to be okay. We're going to make it. See you back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.